Hi, today we'll be going over the Dr. Tech IP88. This is the product of what would happen if Apple and RIM get together to create a phone, I guess. The body is exactly identical to iPhone 4, and the keyboard, this part of the keyboard, looks identical to what you would find in a Blackberry, really. It is very thin, maybe about 10 millimeter. Here's 6 quarters stacked together, and you can see that they're about the same height. You slide the cover down, expose the back. Here's the battery. 1, 2 SIM slot. Here's the memory card. Speaker is very loud, the camera is very lousy, but that's what you would expect anyway, right? The phone is very light. I mean, I love it. It's so light I can hold it to my ear and talk for hours on end because it's so light. Looking at the screen, here's another quarter so you can see how big the screen is. The screen is lousy, not because it's small, but because the viewing angle is very bad. So most of the time I end up not looking at the screen. Most of the time I look at the screen not straight on, but a little bit bent down like this. Because it actually looks better at this angle than at this angle when I look straight at it. Here's messaging, camera, music, FM radio, Bluetooth, and profiles. Profiles is when you're in a movie theater and you want the volume down. When you talk, you don't have to pull out the antenna. The antenna here is just for FM. Sometimes I find myself listening to the FM radio, so this is kind of convenient. I'm surprised that the other phones don't have this. But it's kind of funny when I pretend to talk and pull the antenna out, just like 1990 all over again. Of course, you don't need to pull out the antenna when you talk. When you go, here's how it's right now. The phone is locked, so unlock by pressing this and this. You can go into the menu, and then here's all the settings. Click here if you want to send messaging. One other weird thing about this is that the the clock is constantly changing. So I got rid of it, and you can see that on my home screen there's no time or day whatsoever, because for some reason this phone keeps forgetting the time and the day. So don't bother buying this phone if you intend to use it as an alarm clock, because it won't be reliable. Let's look around at the side. Here's the standard mini USB port for charging. And this is the same plug that you would use when you want to listen to the headphones. Around the other side there are no other ports. This is the antenna once more. I have no idea what this little port is, but I have no need to use it. Here are some fake ports down the bottom, but of course they're all covered. Back to the same USB port again. Unlock the screen once more. That's about it. I mean, if you use the phone, if all you do is talk and text, this is a great phone, and I love it for that, because that's all I do, talk and text. I have no need for applications or whatsoever, because what's the point? I don't find myself using apps on an iPod Touch anyway, so I never bothered getting a really smartphone anyway. One other thing you'll notice, I noticed that a lot of people are complaining about the keys being too small. Well, the keys are actually perfect. It's just that you have to learn how to text using this type of keyboard. Most people, when they text, they use the tip of their finger, which is here. But for small keyboards like this, you actually have to use the center of your thumb. So of course it will take some getting used to, because when you do that, of course you will cover the key as you type, right? And you'll have to learn that this is a T. The T right now is directly underneath the center of my thumb, and that's how you would type if you want to type super fast. If you peck away at it with your fingertip, here's pressing the T with my fingertip, this will take forever and very slow, and I think it will be painful on your fingertips afterwards also. I hope that helps, and feel free to ask me any questions.